Hi, hello everybody. I'm glad to introduce myself as Manikandan, working as a pharmaceutical professional in the field of generic research. I've been working in the generic research for past 13 years. In this period of time, I have been working as a hardcore research professional, later as a project manager, and then now currently as a pharmaceutical functional expert, otherwise called as a subject matter expert. While I have traveled through the journey of close to 13 years, I have been inspired by the one of the concept called Six Sigma. So I would call Six Sigma is not of any separate concept, or it is a separate field or a subject. I would say Six Sigma is a philosophy. What do I mean by philosophy is that it is a philosophy which needs to be practiced, which needs to be integrated as into the DNA of any organizations, which in turn will yield benefits in three triangular perspectives. One, first is the customer whoever is going to get the product or whoever is going to get engaged onto the system which is practicing the concept of Six Sigma would be highly satisfied. Next, the individual who is practicing this concept would get a high degree of satisfaction because he is doing right at first time. The entrepreneur or the owner, the process owner who is driving the entire concepts would get a very good profit margin as well as his status quo in the public domain. So it's a triangular relationship where three different system or three different people who is working on any particular system would get mutually benefited, and hence I would say that it is a philosophy where everyone has to practice. Now, moving on to the my own profession, how I am going to apply these concepts of Six Sigma into the practice is that generally people have a thinking that Six Sigma means it is the define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. It is not always the case. It is the case sector to sector, case to case, it gets varied. As far as the pharmaceutical profession is concerned, considering myself who is particularly involved in the researching field and then more so in the research of designing phase of developing a formula and transferring the developed formula to the technology transfer group and thereafter converting into the manufacturing one with a regulatory agency approval. So in this phase, how the Six Sigma concepts could be applied is what I wanted to say. There are different way of by putting these concepts into practice. One of the most practiced way is this define, concept, design, optimize, and verify. This is what as a researcher I am practicing the Six Sigma concepts. In this process, by adopting this, we are able to develop a product which is very robust, stable, and then commercially viable in a more economic manner, by thereby where the researcher gets satisfied, the customers gets benefits, as well as the owner who is running the entire process also gets a cost effective product and a status quo, as I mentioned earlier part of my talking. And considering this is being has a close analog with respect to the current thought process what the US FDA is trying to implement across the globe. That is nothing but quality by design. Quality by design says that we have to have a quality target product profile, then identify the CTQs, and then thereafter design your product by applying the tools such as design of expert as well as understanding the failure modes, and thereafter establish a controls, and with the controls and the design space having understanding and the risks identified, transfer these to the technology transfer group and verify the same how well it works. This is what is nothing but another way of looking at it at Six Sigma level. So we try to practice all these elements whatever I have mentioned, which has got an analogs to the quality by designs. While we are practicing, so what are we trying to do in this is that we are trying to apply all the statistical tools and then the project management and the research approaches, and thereafter even problem solving by means of the very scientific and in an innovative manner. So the Six Sigma constitutes all these elements. Actually, the applying statistics for at each and every phases, as well as having a value strip mapping across the project progress, and thirdly is that applying scientific tools and principles in problem solving. Integration of statistics, project management and scientific problem solving all constitutes under the concepts of Six Sigma. That's the reason why we apply a Six Sigma in a different patent, in a different pattern, along with the process of either DCDOV or CDOV, and then develop a product whereby we achieve a robust product development that has got transferred to the technology transfer group. So hence, by applying this, we are able to develop a very robust product which will have less of market complaint, more of manufacturing efficiency, and the patients get a very quality products. So that's the reason why I say Six Sigma is a philosophy, and it does not belongs to any particular segments like manufacturing or researcher or service segments. It is applied across all the fields. Only the philosophy has to be practiced, that quality is the first prime, and how do we achieve those quality perspective right at first time by applying all these two. Hence, I would recommend everyone to get this culture imbibed into it, so that there is a transformation across the all the professions. Thereby we elevate our status of life, producing things right at first times, on time, and in a more efficient manner, which has a highest degree of quality. All these can be achieved once we imbibe the elements that is being prescribed under the concept of Six Sigma. Hence, I would recommend everyone should try to get to know what is Six Sigma and try to adopt those things as a culture, and thereafter a transformation of this culture once we imbibe into our DNA. Thank you.